Ever wondered how to start in cubic castles? Simple. Before that, however, let's talk about the game for just a little bit. Cubic Castles is a community sandbox where players are able to mine, craft, and build in a vast shared online world. That's what the website says, but hey, everything I've just said is still true. Of course, Cubic Castles wouldn't be Cubic Castles without its diverse community and is heavily player-driven. Do you need a bundle of stone ore quickly? Visit the resource shop. Do you need money? Get signed up in a mining HQ. Do you want free clothing items? Participate in a minigame. There are a bunch of endless possibilities in Cubic Castles, and you could be a part of that as well. I could talk all about other things, but let's get into actually playing the game first. Assuming you just made an account, you should notice two things in your hotbar. A hand icon that has a little swirly icon on top of it, and your actual hotbar. Tap the hand icon and you should be able to mine the block you clicked on. You want to put that grass block back? Tap the block icon in your hotbar, then press the location you want to place the block in. It's that easy. All this building and mining must be giving you a headache. Why don't we talk about something else complicated, like the menu screen? Tap the icon that looks like a desktop application located on the top left of your screen. From there, you should access the game's menu. You want to set realm permissions? Click on the realm setup and you should be able to access them there. From here, you can click on each of the three options in front of you and set your desired permissions for your personal realm. You want to set permissions for specific people? Have the person visit your own realm and open the realm setup. Click on the trust option when you're all good to go. Make sure you enable the trust is only option first in whatever permissions you would like to give them. Be careful not to trust random people, however, otherwise there may be consequences. You could also ban visitors if you think they are causing any trouble for you. Once you're happy with your realm permissions, just hit done and you're all set. I wish it was the end of it, but there's still a lot more for us to cover. If you go over the menu screen again, you'll notice the perks icon on the left of your screen. Click that, then you should have access to the perks menu. When you level up in the game through building, mining, or crafting, you gain a perk point. Each perk point can be allocated towards one perk. Each perk has its nitty-bitty quirks that enhance your gameplay depending on which perk you have chosen. For example, the faster mining perk can give the players the ability to mine faster, making mining sessions just a bit more bearable. Quick suggestion, make sure you allocate your perk points on perks that make your gameplay much better in the early game. You don't want to get stuck carrying around a perk that makes your text more detailed. Either way, perk optimization is up to you. Speaking of leveling up, did you know that there are quests in Cubic Castles? Just click on the quest icon in your menu screen and you should be taken to the quest tab. Here, you can find quests that either reward you with experience points or qubits. Quests that give players qubits, the main currency of the game, occurs every 12 hours with a max cap of 3 quests. Whether you want to level up your character quickly or make more qubits, they are available for you in the quest menu. Some other important options for you in the menu screen include the friend icon where you can add other players in the game and teleport to them, the qubit store that lets you purchase items with qubits, and the outfit icon which lets you customize how your QB looks. And that we got that out of the way, let's talk about resources. In Cubic Castles, there are about 6 different types of mines, each with their own wacky quirks and resource drops. There are the forest, desert, arctic, mountain, tropical, and deep forest mines. If you see one in the overworld, just jump into one and you should be instantly teleported to the mine. All of these mines each have their own set of resources the player could gather from, and eventually craft into tools and blocks. Resources are also important for making qubits, which we'll be getting into later in the video. Speaking of crafting, your beginner workstation, also known as your workbench, is the main cornerstone for crafting materials and blocks with resources you have collected thus far. Assuming you're new to the game, you'll probably only have an anvil in the beginning. To craft a workbench, you'll need 2 stone blocks, 2 iron, 2 sticks, and 1 tree trunk. Pretty simple if you ask me. Once you have your workbench, you should be greeted with a crafting menu on your screen. The 4 boxes at the top of your crafting menu is where your resources go. The 5th box underneath is where your tool goes. The same feature applies with furnaces, distillers, and extractors, only that there is only 1 box for the resource you want extracted and 1 box for the fuel. Crafting recipes are all available at ccrecipes.com. Just a quick tip though, if you see something in the recipe that you're unfamiliar with, just click the item icon and it will send you a follow-up recipe for that specific item. This can be done for the following item as well. Link will be in the description. One more thing before we get into the advanced tips, let's talk about realm search. Over at the overworld, click the realm search icon located at the top right of your screen. From here, you're able to join other realms in the game assuming they aren't locked by the owner. If you want to search for a specific realm or overworld, scroll over to the bottom of the menu and you should see an option to do so here. You will need this to look for shops and other important things in the game. If you need a little bit more extra support, there are some realms in Cubic Castles that are available for beginners. For one, Omen Helping Hands includes a bunch of cool stuff for beginners to take, and a few helpful tips for you along the way. I'd love to show you another great realm for resources, but otherwise, you're most welcome to check the Discord server as there are tons of support and giveaways there. I'll try to get the invite link in the description. If it's not there, don't be afraid to nag me about it. As you probably already know by now, every game has its own currency where they're able to trade and exchange items with. In Cubic Castles, this trading practice is normal and can be a little bit overwhelming for new players, especially from the start. Now that we have covered everything in Cubic Castles, let's get into the nitty-gritty part with the economy. Trading is not as complicated as you may think. It really only involves a vending machine and a cash register. It's the concept of trading that makes it complicated. To use a cash register, just be near the register when you're the owner. If you're the trader, however, click the trade icon while the owner is near the register. The trading menu should look like this: 4 item slots each showing your offer and the other player's offer. If you want to exchange qubits, hit the qubit icon and a menu should appear prompting you to give away qubits. If you want to put items into your offer, just drag the item into one of the left item slots. Once you are happy with your offer, press accept trade and wait for the other player to confirm the trade for you. For vending machines, put the item on top of the vending machine, then place a glass display on top of it. Use the vending machine to set the price, then you should be all good to go. The machine should tell you if another player has bought from the machine before. If someone did buy something from your vending machine, just mind the vending machine and you should be able to collect your qubits. From here, you'll most likely be participating in 2 types of trading. One where items are exchanged, and the other where the item is bought with qubits. You'll most likely be using the second method of trading, but other experienced traders who know price and demand very well are more likely to use the first option. With different categories of trading comes 2 types of items in a trade. One is resources and the other is clothing items. Resources are usually very accessible that always come in bulk, and they are easier to sell than clothing items because of their set demand. While resources can be accessed through the mines I've mentioned in the game, they usually are sold for cheap per bulk, and they take forever to obtain, just enough to sell for a handful of qubits. With clothing items, however, they take little time to obtain depending on how much you're willing to pay, and highly demanded accessories are able to sell for lots of qubits per piece. Unfortunately, clothing items are generally hard to sell. Price and demand also fluctuates at random times, and you can never really tell if an item is highly demanded or not without any proper research. Speaking of demand, most clothing items, from most, I mean all of them, can have a specific amount of demand that relies on 3 factors alone. How does it look? Is it seasonal? And how rare the clothing item is. For rarity, items which are less common in the market tend to be more highly demanded by other players. Seasonal items can play a huge role in item demand. Just a quick example. And finally, the most important factor of them all, how it looks. This is pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to dress up on something that you don't like. If you can't remember the factors, try to remember the acronym LRS, which stands for looks, rarity, and seasonal. While most item demand can be determined by 3 factors alone, it is still also important to observe item demand a little bit closely. Some examples may be visiting other players' shop to view pricing for items, seeing what other people are wearing, or viewing their shop placements. While observing is also good too, I also believe that doing is the only way to success. Of course, there are other resources to check for pricing, like community prices through Realm Search, through Vendigo if you have joined a Discord server, or just visiting a local item shop to price check. But you should definitely give trading a try if you haven't already. There are also clothing items called supers, which are mostly described as items which are unable to be sold from a vending machine due to its price and demand being significantly high. This is usually caused by its low copy amount in the market. These are mostly items that need to be traded through the use of other items or through a cash register. These items consist of wearables and clothing items. If you have at least one of these items, consider yourself successful. For shop placement, there really is no definite way to set up shop. Pretty much any kind of shop placement will do, but there are some motivating factors you can do to encourage buyers to purchase items from you. For one, try to build vending machines over in a straight line. If it's spread out too much, players are less likely to buy from you. You could also ensure that the portal is close to the vending machines. Try to make a good enough distance to where you're selling your items. And finally, ensure that vending machines are easily accessible and not blocked from the buyer's view. If you've done all these steps, you should have a shop placement like this. Of course, your shop doesn't have to include vending machines. Putting a sign with the qubit price underneath the item will do, as long as you are there with an available cash register, and it doesn't have to be fully clothing items. Resources will also suffice as well. You can also set up temporary shop placements in vending realms and cubic castles. Just jump over a rental bumper in a vending realm and purchase the plot. If you're renting, however, just make sure you're able to grab everything before time is up. For trading hacks, there isn't really much I could say to you other than buying low and selling slightly higher. Some other trading techniques I have encountered were lowballing and overpricing. Lowballing is a technique of buying an item at an incredibly low price, and this is often overshadowed by the community. Either way, it can be used as a decisive trading technique. For overpricing, this is really only used for highly demanded items. Other than that, trading is a true commitment. If you keep going on with it, you'll eventually get there. Speaking of trading, there's another important aspect to it that I haven't talked about yet: items and qubits. Specifically, getting them. There are many ways you could grow your inventory. Some examples may be participating in giveaways, joining a clan, winning minigames, doing official events, and joining raffles. For resources, they can be gathered in the mines in the overworld. Gathered resources can either be sold personally through your own shop placement or by selling them from a mining HQ after joining one. Just keep in mind that mining HQs are different on their own, so the joining process might be a little bit more different for you. Either way, I can say for certain that you will need a piggy bank and a chest. If you don't have these items, make sure to consult the owner about it. If you don't know how much qubits you would like to sell a specific resource for, try to view the resource price from multiple mining HQs. Once you have your average price, just increase the price of the bulk, then you should be all set to go. If you are a bit on the artistic side or you consider yourself a great builder, Cubic Castles also includes commissions for these type of services. While you could possibly find a player in-game that is looking for a builder, you are better off joining the Discord server and posting some of your own creative works there. Either way, as long as you have the work to back up your commission, people will eventually give you a request. Some other things I want to talk about are trading concepts. Just like I have said before, overall demand for an item can affect your selling price. If the buyer is eager enough, overpricing may be your best bet. Just keep in mind that overpricing might only work if the item is overly priced and highly demanded. Always remember your LRS. Other things like hoarding and loan sharking are also prevalent in Cubic Castles. Some experienced traders tend to hoard items for themselves in order to increase their value. For loan sharking, if someone wants to buy something but don't have the qubits for it, experienced traders are able to lend some qubits to the player in exchange for an interest when it's returned back. Just keep in mind that this practice is extremely dangerous and must only be done for trusted players. Otherwise, a scam is only inevitable. Speaking of scams, there are a lot of them too in Cubic Castles, but you should only worry about avoiding them entirely. For one, never drop anything for anyone unless you know what you're doing. Don't give a random player permissions to your realm, and never rent from a rental of an untrusted owner. For resources about trusted vending realms, you can always talk to the Cubic Castles Discord community about that. Like what I said before, I'll try to get the Discord server link in the description. Now that you have learned everything you need to know in Cubic Castles, you might be asking yourself, what now? You have learned all this information from me, but you may still be scratching your head at this point. Well, my advice for you is to start exploring. Go chat with other players, explore different realms through holo warps, or get invested into realm search. Afterwards, I suggest starting out with resources. Mine highly demanded resources like ores, flowers, and tree trunks. Sell them individually or join a mining HQ. While doing so, start joining building/art competitions, clans, giveaways, raffles, minigames, and official events either through the Discord server or in-game. Once you have gained somewhere around 10,000 qubits, start researching qubit prices from reputable sellers. Price check for clothing items through community prices or Vendigo. If you have clothing items already, that's great. Otherwise, start buying clothing items you are confident in reselling higher. Once you have established your clothing price and demand, sell them slightly higher and continue buying and reselling items. If you're confident that the item you are selling is demanded enough, you can try selling them much more higher. For the rest of your playthrough, you'll be experimenting prices and applying some of the trading concepts I have taught you today. You'll be facing a difficult road ahead, but always be on high spirits, and you'll be facing a... Hold on, okay. I will admit, you'll be facing a difficult road ahead, but always be on high spirits, and consider every failure a learning experience for you. And that's pretty much everything I have for you. Although there's a lot of information here in the video, I still believe everything I've said here can be more developed in a certain way. If you have anything you would like to add from the video, feel free to make a comment about it. Now that you've learned everything from the basics to advanced trading techniques, it is now time for you to start your own Cubic Castles journey. Toodles!